Yeah, yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Bumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Whoa. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it is Wednesday, and you guys know what that means by now. And that means it's time for the Bouquet of Legacy. That's right, time for the Bouquet of Legacy presented by In Your House. And listen, I, of course, have to bring in my divinely designed co-host who joins me every week. That's Annie O'Neill. What is up, Annie?
What's up, everyone? What's up, Con? It's Wednesday. I can't believe it's Wednesday already. What is anyway, it's time for the best time of the week. It's Bouquet of Legacy. Chopping it up with two of my favorite humans in on this planet. So that's it's yeah, I can't wait. Let's do this.
Two. You said
Two.
two. I know. So,
Two.
like, if you guys out there are listening on the podcast version, I mean, obviously, you already know who we're gonna bring in if you read the headline. But I'm gonna do this the right way. All right.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what we do here at the Bouquet Legacy. We're taking women who are out there grinding, who are out there putting their best foot forward, and just really making a name for themselves in the professional wrestling business. And that's why I was so excited to get this next guest on because she has had quite the year here in 2025. Big name opponent after big name opponent after big name opponent, and just really putting her flag in the ground is being a staple in women's wrestling. She's relentless with it, ladies and gentlemen. That's Ray Larson. Welcome to the Bouquet of Legacy.
Hi, it's good to talk to you both again, Annie. Obviously, I get to talk to you much more frequently, but Con, it is so good to talk to you again.
Yes, yes. No, it's always great when we get a chance to chop it up. So that's why I was super excited for this episode. And like I said, you've had a big, big year. You've had so many big opponents, and you just been out there grinding every week, staying in the gym. I'm always looking at your story. Like I'm always creeping, always be creeping on some wrestlers and whatnot. Seeing your stories and seeing what you're doing and how you're staying in the gym, staying booked, and like, yeah, I just really am a fan of your consistency. You truly are relentless.
Thank you. It's a lifestyle. I mean, if we don't stay consistent in our lives, in our methodologies, in our practices, we don't achieve our outcomes. We don't manifest what we intend to achieve. And I mean, there are days I text Annie and I'm like, man, I don't want to anymore. Annie just says consistency and manifestation. And well, here we are.
I mean, and that doesn't come without the action. And but not only do you speak that in word, you that is your everyday action, like one foot in front of the other. And you are a huge part of my success, because I can't do this on my own. Like, you really need the solid uh friends to sit at your table, and you're one of those for me, like, through and through. And like Khan said, you are that embodiment of that relentlessness. So what is at the core of that, Ray? What how do you like feed the furnace, so to speak?
So it ebbs and it flows. I mean, I will say the essence of Relentless, I mean, I think that's who I am. I think uh this inability to rest, whether it's wholly good all the time, that's me. I'm always taking more on, I'm always putting more on my plate. And both, I know you, Annie, and even Kevin, who's also on IYH, like, how much more can you take on? How much more can you do? And for me, it's, I want it all. So how do we achieve it all? How do we put enough time in the day that maybe we don't do it all in one day, but we get pieces of everything we want? Because I feel like I spent maybe a portion of my life being complacent. And then I realized that life is, I lost some friends, I lost some family. Um, and I realized how lucky we are to meet the people that we have on this earth, and how many of our circumstances we make ourselves. And so if our time is ours to make, let's make it our own. And so you don't stop, you keep going. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the only person you have to hold accountable is yourself.
Right? Like you hold yourself to such a high degree of honesty and like brutal like self-reflection. Like and that's hard. That's really hard to do. And so like when I feel like when other humans hear the words that you say, like how do you get comfortable enough to know like okay, I am being a little complacent. Like how do I change that? Like what is that like for you?
Um, that honesty was one of, like, in my past, I wasn't honest with myself.
Mhm.
In my past, like, I I wasn't my best self. So a lot of it was standing in front of the mirror and holding myself accountable for my actions. So then when people look at me and they go, "Well, how do you know when you're getting complacent?" It's when it's hard to look at that person in the mirror again, knowing that you could have pushed a little bit harder. And I'm not just talking about the gym or wrestling. I'm talking about even just daily actions. Sometimes it's hard to get out of bed. But, like, was I able to get out of bed and maybe just pick up some clothing on the ground? Like, I'm not talking about big sweeping changes. I'm talking like maybe 1% better every single day.
Every single day, and you know that that compounds over and over and over again, but it's in those small moments where like you just make consistent actionable habits every day, and then like it yields just like great benefits. And so you okay, speaking of that, like I'll transition into this next question. So
Yeah.
you've had an all-star year. I'm talking I'm just going to drop some names. So like this is what we're here to do. Do you want to hear some names, Con?
I want to hear some
Con,
names.
get
Let's
ready to
do it.
start
Because
picking them up, right?
exactly. I'm just going to throw them and you're just going to catch them. Um so yeah, I'm talking B Priestley, Gigi
Ooh,
Dolin,
all right.
Jody Threat,
Oh, all right. All right.
Sienna, right? Allison K.
Yep. Yep.
And just this last week, who was uh uh the other half of TNA Spitfire was Danny Luna.
Oh, okay. I can't catch this man. I can't do
Yeah,
it
right,
anymore. My
right. How
God.
are you still
What a
sitting
year.
upright, Con? This is in
What
the
a
last
year. Wow.
365 days alone. Like
Wow.
the heart, the mental fortitude, like the confidence, the humility, like she's got it all. Ray, would you say, like, without making those actionable habits, when you know you've needed to be more relentless, do you think you would have had the last 365 days of your life?
No, I don't think I would have had the last 365 days without these habits, without mentors to help guide me, without a support system. Um, I mean, the wrestling world. while it's huge, is also incredibly small. And word travels incredibly fast. I think both of you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
And when you start to work with different people, like, it's not just seeing somebody's match on YouTube. Like, you start to hear people's names, you start, like, word of mouth can start to precede you, reputations, for better or for worse. And so with those habits, good or bad, come reputations, and sometimes reputations can help carry you or they can help hinder you. So I guess ultimately what I'm saying here is these women also took time out of their day and their booking schedule to accept these bookings and impart wisdom while working with me. And their word of mouth carried through in different circumstances. And I'm incredibly grateful to all of them for the multitude of guidance they provided, work they helped, the body of work that they've brought to this business. There are other women, Shaza McKenzie, um, Lainey Luck, just off the top of my head from this summer.
Yeah.
Misa Kate
Sabrina,
within the last month.
yep, Missa Kate was in
Oh, I love Mr. K.
Wisconsin. I mean, I've just these these women, I continue to reiterate how grateful I am because these women take the time out of their day to help guide younger upstarts like myself and other women from Michigan, other women from the Midwest. And it's, while we do the work, sometimes our consistency carries us further than just our body of work, I guess maybe is what I'm saying.
And what does that consistency look for like for you in a week in the life of Ray Larson?
So I don't know if everybody knows, I do have a 9-year-old son. And so usually about the first half of the week I have him. So I'm mom 100% of the time, but I'm mom in person about 50% of the time. And so I'm mom. And then I work a full time job outside of wrestling. And then in that time, I'm also meal prepping and planning to stay consistent just because life gets hectic, even with my son and just my job outside of wrestling. And then I'm usually in the gym 5 to 6 days a week, whether it's conditioning or functional weight training. And then I usually have booking 1 to 2 bookings every other weekend dependent upon the schedule. I try not to accept bookings on the weekends I have my son just because that's my time with my son. So,
Sure.
but the weeks that I don't have my son, I push a little bit harder. The weeks that I have my son, I push a little bit harder in the gym. And then the weeks that I don't have my son, I have bookings. So, it's a delicate balance. And then usually
Sure.
once a week I'm in a ring. Thursday nights I this booking, while it's not the largest booking, it's a weekly booking where I get to work with newer kids down in New Baltimore, Michigan. City Championship Wrestling. Annie worked with them for a number of years. Kevin worked with them for a number of years. And I'm incredibly grateful for them just because it's a weekly rep of a match
Sure.
where I get to, yeah, I get to work on different things. I get to work with different people. And that weekly rep has actually paid dividends.
It's
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sure.
it's given me so much opportunity for growth and a weekly
Own your
show.
craft as well, you know?
It's a hell of a commitment, but
It really is.
it's it's been instrumental in my growth over the last year. So I'm just absolutely grateful. So yeah, shout out to City Championship Wrestling. They got something good going on there. Ray, what are you most looking forward to right now?
Um, Honestly, like I always just look forward to the next match, even if the next match isn't a new opponent. Um, it's such a cliche kind of like sports motto or sports, discussion that we never look past our next opponent. I'm wrestling Stella Buho at Mr. Chainsaw Pro Wrestling on November
Ooh,
1st.
okay.
And I've wrestled Stella, I want to say probably 8 to 10 times. But this is this is an audience that's never seen Stella and I wrestle. It's for the Chainsaw Cup, which is their mid card title. They've never seen an all women's championship match. It's unique in its own way. And Stella and I continue to grow, and then we come back and we meet. And so while the matches can sometimes be similar, we both grow. We both change the way we wrestle. We both change we grow as who we are, because I don't, like, nobody wants to remain stagnant in this state. So
Oh.
it's just I don't like to look ahead too far. I mean, at this point, I'm solidifying bookings for 2026, so I'm always excited about that. But at this point, it's always the next match. It's always what's the next piece of business to be completed.
And you have been so groundbreaking in your time since you've started. Like, how does one become accustomed to that? Is that just innate to who you are?
um I don't think I know when I first started wrestling, I never expected to do the things that I've done, especially in the short period that I've done them. When I first started wrestling, I just thought this was going to be something it's still fun, but I always just thought, hey, this is something fun, and what if I'm like kind of okay at it? It wasn't supposed to be something that took off the way that it did, especially with the pace that it did. And then when I blew my ACL, it was always, hey, let's try and see if we can get back in the ring and get back to where we were. And then I just kept taking people's guidance, and people liked me. People liked the fire that I had, and I just kept going. I mean, I didn't want to quit. And I mean, that's kind of who I am. I don't quit. So, every opportunity that came my way, if it was feasible, yeah, what's next? What's next?
Absolutely. Ray, like, from what you've just told me, like, w- what was it like when, like, those young girls started cheering your name, and you just, you became a source of inspiration. Like, little girls saw you and they're like, wow, I think that's possible for me. What is that like to you?
Um, it was the most unexpected blessing that's come out of wrestling. Uh, Annie, you and I are close in age. When we were growing up, there weren't a ton of strong female role models. I mean, yeah, you had China, you had Beth as a glamazon a little bit later, but truly, like in TV and mainstream media, you had Kimberly the Pink Ranger, you had Xena Warrior Princess, you had Buffy,
Hmm.
and I mean, I name all of these because I idolized all of them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But it's so awesome to be able to be seen as that for young children, any young child, and to show them that it doesn't matter where you're coming from, but this mentality of not stopping, this fire, it burns in everybody. So don't ever stop being who you are. Don't ever stop fighting for what you believe in. It's awesome. Like, it's the coolest unexpected benefit of wrestling.
So when you were that little girl yourself, did it ever become something like you could ever conceive, like, this older version of you like could express that through the art of professional wrestling? Was that ever on the radar? Like,
Not really. I didn't really watch professional wrestling until about 2017. Like I'd seen it casually. And I always liked action movies. I always liked martial arts, but I didn't really watch professional wrestling. And I had friends that were into professional wrestling. So I got into professional wrestling because I had friends that were yarders. Um, and they said, "Hey, I think you'd be kind of good at this." And so I started watching because the person who trained me, Rohit Raju, his friends were yarders. And so I started watching Rohit's work. And then I started to watch a lot of the women in TNA. And I started to watch, a lot of the guys. And I was like, this is really cool. Like, this is going to suck, but like physically, this is probably going to suck. But like, yeah, let's try it. And I was like, it was coming out of COVID and we were all going stir crazy. And I was like, what do I have to lose at this point in my life? Nothing.
Sure, sure. Yeah, no, I dig that. That's a crazy story because I always like to hear how people got into it, and then you talked about who you train with, and I really like what you're saying as far as like that influence that you had on like those young girls because like I'm sure that that's a very cool feeling. Like, and I came up in the same time as y'all. I know about me some Xena Warrior Princess. All right. I know
mhm.
about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, you're not just y'all two in a club together. All right, so I know about that stuff too. But but I do love the fact that you're able to encapsulate that and put it out there and be that influence, that inspiration for young women. Now, what I also like about like how you are as far as what I've seen in the ring, like I've seen a lot of your clips and a lot of your work and everything like that. It really just seems like, as far as like the character, this is just my connotation on it. As far as like looking at you and critiquing as like who this person is as a wrestler, it's like that cool girl next door that could take it up another notch. You know what I'm saying? Like that's exactly the vibes that I get off of the character. So I want to ask this. I know you had like some of those other names. Was there any other like maybe wrestling or non-wrestling influences that kind of like influenced your like style when you're not wrestling? You kind of come out in like the beanie and whatnot, kind of like the tomboy type look, and
Yeah.
and and like the who influenced your style and who influenced like your in-ring style, whether it be wrestling personality or non-wrestling personality.
I'm an emo kid through and through. um,
Okay, all right.
and I just so yeah. So like growing up, I just don't think that piece of me ever left. Um
Sure.
and kind of a funny aside, like Rhea Ripley obviously started wrestling before I did, but Ripley was always like I loved the Alien movies growing up, and I was like, Ellen Ripley's the coolest person I've ever seen. Um, and I always was like, yeah, I want to put Ripley in my name, and I was like, can't do it
Can't
now.
do it now.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But I've always been drawn to people that are so authentically awkward. Like they're
Yeah,
just themselves and nerd, original, but like I don't know. Like I don't even know how to describe it. Um, like I was always a Donatello fan growing up, like watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like
yeah,
I've always embraced the nerd, and that's kind of like where I've evolved from. And then when I started lifting, I turned into like I don't even know how to describe it, like your typical like
That buff nerd.
lifting. Yeah, like that lifting like meathead. And I've always been a tomboy. Like I've always been the girl that runs with the guys that thought she could hit harder than the rest of them. And according to most of the guys in the ring, I do still hit harder than 90% of them.
You got the cool girl archetype going on.
It's just
Yeah,
like I just I for a long time I tried to be preppier. I tried to be, more polished, more refined, and I realized after a while like it's not me. I'm
sure.
grungy, I'm awkward. It's me. And I think people shine so much brighter when they're just their authentic selves, whether they're polished, whether they're, what they define as unfinished. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I think natural beauty, well, whatever they define it as, makes them shine that much brighter.
But so many people are trying to be what other people want them to be. And like, people get so like lost in that shuffle. And it's confusing because they spend a lot of time like not knowing who they are because they just want to please everyone else. But
Yeah.
once you just embrace like wait a minute, there's this performative mask that's not quite it. Like, and I don't have to spend my life just pleasing other people just because it's that expectation. When did
And
that
I
yeah.
think Annie, you've seen pictures. When I first started wrestling, I was about 15 pounds lighter. I didn't have half the muscle I have on my body. And I still wear them from time to time. I used to wear Jordans all the time. Like everybody used to say I kind of looked a little bit like a Carmelo wannabe. And I just like that wasn't me. And I
Yeah.
realized like when I came back from my knee surgery, I was like, yeah, this isn't working anymore. And it just like naturally evolved back into that emo kid. And honestly, it's gotten me much further than that kind of whole look ever did.
What did that refining process look like to you, Ray? Like, okay, like this is I know this is not who I am. I'm still trying to find myself, but then holy shit, I'm Ray Larson. Ray freaking Larson. How did you get from
Um,
point A to point B?
so mine wasn't as graceful probably as it could have been.
Is it ever?
Because
It's always
I mean,
messy.
uh mine was kind of a freight train smashing me in the face because I had an ACL surgery. So, I thought I was cruising along just fine. And then like I had my ACL. And I don't know, Con, if I've ever told you, like, I blew my ACL in my debut and I worked
Oh
on it for
no.
6 months.
And
I
you
didn't
didn't
even know
know it was blown, right?
I did not know. I felt a pop go in my knee and
Oh
I
wow.
felt it happen. I was doing stomps to an opponent. And I felt it happen and I was like, that's weird. Huh. And I finished the match and like my knee swelled up for about 48 hours and then it was fine. And I was like, okay, cool. And then 6 months later, I had been having bouts of like, I'd be able to work out and then I'd do something where my knee would be on an angle and it would go unstable, like from
Yeah.
flat footed.
Oh.
And
Oh.
That's
I would get
scary.
like this intense pain for like 5 minutes and then it would be fine again. I might get like a little bit of residual swelling, but then I'd be fine. And I went to PT because it wasn't getting better. And the physical therapist saw the instability when we were like doing, think like cornerback motions, like running backwards and then cutting and diving. And he
Mm-hmm.
was like, you know what? I think we need to go back to your orthopedic surgeon and have them do an MRI. And the orthopedic surgeon fought with me and wanted me to get cortisone shots. And I said, before I start doing a whole regimen of shots, like just do the MRI. And he did the MRI and he goes, I've never seen a knee look like this before. It looks like your ACL
Oh.
exploded. And yeah, it
Oh.
had all kinds of scar tissue around it. And I had just been working, I had strengthened so much of the muscles around my knee that the knee was fine. The MCL, PCL, meniscus, kneecap, it was all intact. It was just the ACL. And so
Uh,
I wasn't even going to get surgery. I was like, my life is fine. I can lift, I can squat like 260 pounds, like everything's good.
Right.
And then I was cleaning the school one day where I was training at. I jumped off a
Mhm.
table and I felt my whole knee do this when I landed.
Oh, oh God. Dear God.
And
Whew.
I was like, all right, I have to think realistically. I have a son. I'm not going to be wrestling for the
Yeah,
rest of my life. I have to think about the longevity of my life.
for
So
sure.
I decided to get the surgery 2 months later. So when I say it, like it hit me like a sack of bricks because suddenly I was wrestling and then my knee was toast. And
Yeah.
physically, I was toast. They did measurements and I think I lost like 4 inches of muscle off my knee in like 6 weeks. It was insane. And so like when you sit
Ugh.
there, you're in bed and like I mean you're binging TV and stuff like that, but you really start to think about like what do I want to do when I come back
Everything.
because
Yeah.
it's got to be good. And I was very grateful
Yeah.
because I got to do a lot of managing. And that managing helped my natural personality come out. And so in that sense it was graceful because my natural personality came out and then I was like we're just going to build
Yeah.
off my natural personality.
What chemistry has to be present for that magnitude of your personality to come out and shine through? Because like I've seen countless matches of Straight Out of Saginaw. I was there to witness like your fledgling spirit just take off. You know, I've had that privilege. Um, what is that like for you,
You
Ray?
see me instantly start laughing.
Yeah,
uh,
I've known you a
uh,
very long time.
Ace Evans, Sean Evans, Nick Green. So I've known them since I started training and they know me very, very well. And I think having a sense of comfort around me, knowing that like if I screw up, these people are going to be here to like prop me right back up and not let me fall, as opposed to when you're wrestling somebody you don't know. You don't know where they come from. And frankly, you both have seen it. You see some of these people like they're bored, like they're stick stiff in the ring, like they don't have a lot of personality. They're nervous themselves. They don't know who they are yet. It's so easy to be yourself and comfortable when you have somebody that's equally easy to play off of. Um, like when Annie and I did commentary together at CCW, I was so nervous.
Whose
And then
grand idea was that?
nobody should have put
Have
Who the
us
you
hell
on
booked
mics.
that?
Okay, so real talk, Con. This I you know what? It was someone's decision to give her a live microphone. And like she is the right hemisphere and I'm the left hemisphere. Like we're two
And
halves
we
of a
equal
whole
one
we
brain.
do. We do. Like I regress and she forms the other side. Like she really does.
Oh my
And
God.
uh,
Oh my
on
God.
with a hot mic she interrupts someone's promo and she's like, "Have you tried being good?" And I'm like,
Oh. Oh my God.
Have you considered getting good? And he just like,
and then I feel like then that's when the person came to the realization like putting Ray and Annie on a live commentary team was a choice.
it was a choice.
Jesus.
But
I
Just
can't
I
say
don't
we were
think
not entertained and
I don't think
entertaining.
Kevin stopped laughing.
No. Oh no.
Jesus.
Oh
Just
no.
gave him the old John Cena to Roman Reigns. Just took him right off. Didn't even know what to
Seriously.
say. Dear God.
He's dead already.
Amazing.
Stop. He's already dead.
Right. I'm like, oh my God.
But
Stop.
and
Stop.
that's just a testament to like that natural chemistry. So just like we talk about in wrestling, wrestling's a dance. And the better the partner you have in the sense of comfort level, the better your outcome's going to be 100% of the time. Um, the women that we talked about earlier, I don't know any of them personally. I mean, I've spent more time with Jody at shows just because we work in similar circles. So I know
Mm-hmm.
Jody a little more casually in terms of like, hey, how are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. But in terms of like actually working together, I've never worked with any of these women before. And I think if we were to string all the matches together, you can tell which women I had better comfort zones with. And I think Annie, you could clearly see that as well.
And like how do you find that common ground with someone like where that chemistry is just not there, and for the sake of, well, the show must go on, how do you bridge that gap, right? What does that look like for you?
Communication. I
Mhm.
mean, like, gosh, isn't communication like a main word in like relationships, work
Everything.
life? I mean, even what we're doing right now, without effective communication, we flounder. And so communication just works a little bit differently, but you have to like forcing it is the wrong term. I
Mhm.
think you just have to be more mindful of your communication
Mhm.
when you're in those circumstances. So it's like sometimes you can just tell the second you get in that ring, you're just not lining up the way you want to. So it's like you start to communicate a little bit more in that ring. Try to be a little more effective. You start to, and then, if you're going to work together again, you plan or you talk things through
Mhm.
a little more concisely.
Mhm.
Or, excuse me, I have a few moves where I tell people, hey, let's get in the ring and walk through this so you understand the body movement that this has. And when people can start to feel how things feel, or at least they can walk through it, it makes their comfort level rise and the tensions drop.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's certainly a challenge. And how and what kind of moments have you experienced in the last 365 days that were some of the most refining moments for you, Ray?
Ooh, I like that. I like the question.
Um,
Thanks.
like the most defining moment I can think of was, honestly, it started back, like, it was almost a full calendar year ago, back in September of 2024, when I wrestled the triple threat against Jody Threat and Storm Garcon. I
Divine
Ooh.
Pro. I was there. I lived it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that was the debut of Divine Pro. I finished that match and I just got in the back and everything felt like ick. And I define like, and the match wasn't bad. Like the number of people I've had say to me, "Oh, that match was awesome. Oh, you did great." But it wasn't my standard. Like I see the things I could have done better, and I'm such a perfectionist. I never let myself rest, and maybe sometimes that's what I need to do. But like we were talking about, that's sometimes where the hunger comes from. But that being said, though my most refining moments are when I walk to the back after a match and I am just like, I'm not a violent person. I don't, whoops, sorry, I lost my backlight. There we go. I'm not a violent person by any stretch of the imagination, but like sometimes when I finish those matches, I want to walk in the back and grab the water bottle and just like throw it against the wall. I'm irritated, like my shots could have landed cleaner. I forgot something in the match, like I need to go outside, I need to get air. Something just didn't click the way I needed it to click, and a lot of times it's those matches I'm most nervous about and I put the most pressure on myself. But it's like that, it's that old, kind of saying where it's like the most pressure builds diamonds. And so it's like I
Yeah.
think about those moments, when I wrestled Aaron O'Ryan, when I wrestled Jody Threat, when I wrestled Lainey Luck this summer. Like I'm not happy with the outcomes of those matches, but I look at the matches I had after because I was able to look at them and literally tear those matches apart and go, wow, like I learned so much from these matches. And look what it gave me.
Yeah.
Who have been some of your toughest opponents, and what did you learn about yourself after having been in a match with them?
Tough as in,
I mean,
um,
like who, like I was present for that match with Aaron O'Ryan, and I
right.
remember how nervous you were. You were
I
also
was Baby
excited.
Ray.
You were so excited though. And
Yeah.
but like, having a match with someone like Aaron O'Ryan who like you respect so much, like
Yeah.
um
Um, the people that we hold, the people that we place on pedestals are almost sometimes the hardest matches for us because we put their hype in our head, and then we have to try to live up to their hype and our hype for them. I think we do that with promotions too. Um, and for me specifically, that's talking about AAW. AAW it has a huge history of, you know, um the number of talent that they've had, the
Mm.
matches that we talk about AAW Pro. Like, so now that I'm on that roster, every time I step foot in that ring, like I know what history lies in that Berwyn Eagles or the previous venue and
Mhm.
associated with AAW. And it's like the best way I can describe it is people always ask me, like, oh, aren't you excited for these? Aren't you excited for this? And it's like, this is business. Like sometimes every match is fun, but sometimes it's just fun. And sometimes, no, this is business. This is what elevates me to the next
Mhm.
level. This is what is going to put me on TNA. So let's get business done. Let's do what we need to do. But with that facet of business comes a whole lot of pressure. So let's make a diamond.
Yeah.
and what, can you talk about the satisfaction it must feel like, writing your own page of history in the present moment with, in a promotion such as AAW? What does that feel like for you, Ray?
Uh, I don't feel like I've really, like, I feel satisfaction more when I see people come up to me and give me a positive feedback. But even more so, I feel the most satisfaction when I have somebody come up to me that is another worker or a TV level talent and say, I enjoyed this. I would do this again. Or you were a lot of fun to work with. You listened, you did these things. Like, to me, that's the greatest compliment I
Mhm.
could receive. I had fun. I felt safe. Thank you for this match. That that's what gives me personal satisfaction. Like, yeah, the stuff we do is awesome. It's cool. Like, I love to hear the crowd pop. Don't get me wrong. But ultimately, at the end of the day, like, if I can't trust the person I'm in the ring with and we're not working well together, and like, I walk into a locker room and they're like, oh, it's her. She's like unsafe. She's this, she's that. Like, that's what like I said in the beginning, your reputation's going to hinder or help you as much as
Mhm.
it can. So I don't know, like AAW, I still feel like such a baby there. I have so much to learn. And I feel like, oh no, I feel like I just don't feel like I could ever rest. I feel like there's just, I, my little feet are still running and I can't stop. Because if I
Yeah.
stop, I'll stop growing, and I gotta keep outgrowing the pot, like the pot I'm planted in. There's just so much to be done.
Yeah. And just like allow yourself to soak all that in. You know what I'm saying? Like being a part of AAW, that is a great promotion. You know, they've done a lot of great work for many years and seen a lot of top tier talent come in and out of there. So that's most definitely a great opportunity. It was the same way for me when I stepped foot at Ohio Valley Wrestling and worked there.
Yep.
You definitely feel that vibe anytime that you walk in there and you see all the photos that they have there in the locker room of all the different talents like Mickey James and John Cena and Brock Lesnar and Shelton Benjamin,
Hmm.
and Elijah Burke and just so many. So like I definitely feel what you're saying as far as like when you step foot into somewhere that has a legacy, that has a history, that great talent has been in and out of, and it just gives you the motivation to want to elevate and do even better. And yeah, you might feel like you're a baby there right now, but as more shows come along and more opponents come along, which you've already proven that you can tangle with the best of them, and that's what this last year seems to be a testament to, is that you are trusted, you are somebody that word of mouth travels and they're like, yeah, I would wrestle her for sure. And that's the truth considering the last 365 days. We see you wrestling the top tier opponents. We see, you putting yourself out there and doing what you need to do. What is this leading to? What is the next step for you? You made it to AAW Pro, which is a great accomplishment. You should definitely like soak that in because it's
Thank you.
so the one thing about you wrestlers is that you guys don't ever slow down. You guys don't ever stop and smell the roses. You guys are just going and prattling along. Well, you know what? I'm here to tell you to slow down. Think about it for a second. You've done some amazing things. Appreciate
Thank
what
you.
you've done and appreciate your journey. But what's next for you? What's next on that goal list for Relentless Ray Larson?
Um, yeah. TV, TNA. Like, we don't stop till we
Sure.
hit TNA. That's the ideal goal. I would love, and I'm working with mentors, always working. Like, I would love to be on Exodus Pro. I would love to work with
Yeah,
NWA.
that's a good one. Yeah,
And I will continue to take any opportunity that comes forward. But at this point, like, we don't stop till we hit TNA.
for sure.
And I just want to preface this chat
Hold
that
on. Stop. Oh,
Ray Larson
keep going.
manifested that here on
Yeah,
IYH. You know,
exactly.
you know,
That's
Con,
what I'm saying.
Con, you and I, we have a really nasty habit of making things coming true by word of mouth. So I'm just
We
saying,
do that a lot
we do
here.
that.
We do
We
do
do
that a
that.
lot here for sure. And listen, we're having a great conversation here with Relentless Ray Larson, and it's been an absolute vibe. I've just been kind of taking it in, honestly. Like I've been letting Annie do the heavy lifting, which she's amazing at it. I mean two ways. I mean, she will lift and carry this conversation, and she'll lift your ass too. All right, household. She can do all that stuff. Listen, you don't want no smoke with Annie, but listen, I'm excited to have heard you two just go back and forth, and I enjoy your guys' sisterhood so much. For me, it's really cool to kind of just sit back and just chill and just watch it. But like while we're talking, while we're going, I'm even more excited because not only are we going to sit up here and talk to Ray Larson and celebrate Ray Larson, we get a chance to watch her latest match with her, and that's going to be really cool. Annie, what are we watching with the household this week?
So we are watching Divine Pros Sapphire Series 3, Ray Larson featuring Danny Luna. And if you don't know
Ooh,
who that is, she is the other half of TNA Spitfire. So
Yep.
I just want to reiterate again that Ray Larson has had the pleasure of working with both members of Spitfire. So
And they
Jody
both
Threat,
hit really, really hard.
who hits harder?
that's cool.
Do
That's
can
cool.
you
That's
tell
a good
us?
question. That's a good question.
Jody. She
Jody,
has this
sure.
really nice combination of lariats in the corner, and then she does an exploder suplex. Yeah, that always feels real good.
She does strongman competitions and she is a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like,
Oh
I
my
want to be like
god,
her when I grow up.
yeah, same.
dear God!
Like,
What
Big
just
Strong Girl season
just the
is in,
oh
definition
yeah,
Con.
of badassery?
For real, for real. Like it fuels me.
I'm
It fuels
scared.
me whenever I'm in the
I'm
same room
scared.
with Ray and Jody. Like I love those are good days. Absolutely
I
good
love it.
days.
My
So
goodness, good thing I came up in a family with strong women, or else I'd really be scared.
for sure,
But
for sure.
but listen, this is exciting. This is cool. I'm really excited to watch this match because I know it's something that you looked forward to. I didn't listen, Annie. Just full disclosure for you guys, we're pulling the curtain back a little bit out there, household. Annie sent me the match. I purposely didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I was saving it for
Fair.
when we watched it here live on the Bouquet of Legacy. But first, we got to take care of a little business, all right? We got to take a break. We are going to pay a few bills. And then when we do come back, we're going to watch that match, all right? It's Ray Larson, Danny Luna, Divine, Sapphire, Series 3. Hey, we'll talk to you guys on the other side of this break.
Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Welcome to the Brainbuster T-shirt website where your favorite podcast team in your house lives. Look at all these fantastic options you have.
If you want that sweet hype, we got it. You wanna be divinely designed at yours. Have you lost your voice? We have all that voice merch for you. Are you just a part of the household? We got that too. Brainbuster Tees is where IYH live. Brainbuster Tees is where IYH live.
In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood.
Emerge faithful, we're coming out to Emerge 91 Blood and Bone. Since 2019, I have been the executive producer of the In Your House podcast. Since 2021, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to be a part of Emerge Wrestling in Columbus, Indiana. The honor and the privilege to tell all of you, right here in the middle of this ring, that Emerge Wrestling, in collaboration with the In Your House Network, will be at the Squared Circle Expo this March in Indianapolis. Indianapolis, Emerge Wrestling is in your house. We'll see you in March.
Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house.
Hey guys,
Check it.
welcome back
Hey.
to In Your House, the Bouquet of Legacy. And listen, I'm kicking it here with Annie O'Neill. I'm kicking it here with Ray Larson. They just chatting it up, y'all. Chatting it up here in the green room, going back and forth. And listen, that's exactly what we do here. All right, that's exactly what we do here at In Your House. We chat it up. We talk all things. And listen, this is what happens when you get Ray and Annie together. They're gonna cause some trouble. They're gonna talk and
Oh
talk and
yeah.
talk, and it's gonna be crazy. But this is exactly what we wanted here at
Always.
In Your House. This is what. Listen, I got exactly what I paid for. All
I,
right,
I was just
and
yeah, I'm just about to say, like you were
I
warned.
knew what I was
You
getting.
accepted the terms and conditions, so
I
I'm
clicked
not
accept on the
apologizing from
terms and
anything.
conditions. This is
Non-refundable.
exactly what we're getting. The whole I got to do a whole lot of juggling with these two characters. And man, listen, y'all, real quick, I got to bring it down real quick because listen, last couple days been crazy for me. I've been working some 10-hour days at the shoot job. All right, and then I'm having to take my knucklehead son to football practice, and then I got to come here and I got to help produce and host one of the hottest podcasts in the Midwest. And man, I got to tell you, that can make you tired. But I'm just glad I'm getting everything right with my wellness by having goalie nutrition on my side. Hey, yeah, that's the goalie gummies there. And listen, when I am needing to get my energy up and when my fupa is fupaing, I need to make sure I got the apple cider vinegar gummies there. They are great. Love them. Have them right over here on my stand here. And listen, sometimes I need focus. I got to make sure that I'm staying focused. We got a whole lot of planning to do, y'all, for the Squared Circle Expo in March, and that's gonna be big. We're gonna be doing some live podcasting and stuff like that. I gotta stay focused. I gotta have the Matcha Mind gummies. All right, keep me editing my podcast. Keep those wheels turning and stay focused and do all the things that you got to do, because anybody could just step on a mic. It takes a whole lot to build a brand. So that's exactly what we're doing here. And listen, if you guys want to get your wellness right, if you guys want to get started on your fitness journey and you need a little leg up, hey, I'd say go to goalie.com and we'll help you out. All you got to do is enter mode IYH. You get a 10% discount and you can get started and check out everything that we're doing here on Apple Podcast and Spotify. So we are here with Relentless Ray Larson, and we're about to watch her latest match here against Danny Luna. We're about to do it here in a minute, so make sure you guys are on YouTube, and you will have to go to Ray Larson versus Danny Luna. It is on Relentless Ray Larson's YouTube page. So I'm going to give you guys a chance. It's from 10-10-25. I'm going to give you guys a chance to get to it. If you guys are there on listening to us on the podcast, I'm going to give you Annie and the household to know about this match. As far as we're about to get into it, but what do you want us to know about this match that was special or that stood out for you that really had you like proud of this one?
It's just watching one of my best friends continue to break the ceilings that she was destined to break. And she just you throw her that curve, she's gonna knock it right out of the park. Like, and everything that she says that she's going to do, she crosses it off the list. So um that's just what I enjoy. And there was a lot of cake being thrown around that ring, and that's
Oh boy.
something I'm
Oh boy.
very, very happy about. So you will hear me exclaim that probably. So
Oh, we're gonna hear you in this one,
yeah.
aren't we?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm always
That's
one of the loudest
amazing.
people in the room when it comes to Ray. So yeah.
Hey,
Annie
I
is one of
love it.
my
Like I said,
best
it goes.
cheerleaders.
Yes, it goes back to that sisterhood I was talking about earlier. Love it. Okay, all right. So I gave you knuckleheads out there in the household enough time to get to the match. So we're about to jump into it. We're about to hit play in 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, Divine Pro Wrestling, Ray Larson, Danny Luna. There's Ray.
There she is. There was Annie,
Yee.
looking like the Undertaker.
I love the aesthetic of where they're running the show at. Never been here.
It's
uh,
it's really fun.
Uplift. Yeah, it's a really cool bar. Very intimate.
Yeah. Oh, 2-0.
Hmm.
Oh shoot, I didn't even realize that you wrestled Rachel Armstrong.
Yeah, that was actually the match I was going to give you, because I enjoyed that match so much. That was one of my favorite matches I've ever had.
Rachel's
Um,
so good.
and we did a match where I got to showcase my strength and my speed and my agility. So it was
That's
like a
cool.
triple threat for me.
Right on.
Was that one of those matches you really surprised yourself in, Ray? You're
It was, yeah, it was definitely one of those ones where it's like it wasn't perfect, but we did so many different
mhm.
things. And I didn't really go in with much expectations in terms of like what I was thinking I'd achieve or get out of it. And sometimes the best that's sometimes the best thing to go in with.
Sure.
Like, it wasn't a negative type of, well, I'm not
Ooh,
expecting much. It
damn.
was just, you know, let's see what happens.
You know, it's one of those moments where you become more of it's a layered um effect, like it's like taking off a wet blanket.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
that's a true moment of growth. Wow. Well, like you have one expectation and your mind is changed
Oh, chestnut strength.
in a later moment. So
for sure.
All up in the face.
She big strong Goyle, just like me.
Oh, here we go. Oh, got her with the side headlock. What were you thinking in
right in
this
the
moment, Ray? You
face.
guys are kind of like
Real.
feeling each other out, trying to gain, leverage over one another. She's getting you in the headlock right now. What's going through your mind in these moments?
She, so much is established just with those first few headlocks. So
Yeah. Ooh.
it really is a test of strength. It's really understanding the strength in that base that they provide, that you
Oh,
provide, and how much you can push each other back and
yeah.
forth.
Yeah. Oh, we got a little three amigos action. Oh, two amigos.
Hmm.
Two, three. What's she about to do? Oh no, she's giving it back. We did get three.
What is that moment like for you, Ray? Like, you lock up with someone like who can
Ooh,
who's gonna push you to
butterfly.
the absolute limit. And then like, you put that foot on the gas pedal and you just accelerate.
It's awesome because you get to find out what you're actually made of and whether or not you can rise to the occasion and
It's
whether or
kind of like a
not you'll
Luthez
flounder.
press. Oh, ooh, right in that mouth. Kicked her right in the mouth.
We definitely, we both hit real, real hard in this match.
I see.
And if someone was just like meeting Ray Larson for that first time this night, what what kind of impression do you think you gave in this match?
Oh,
Um,
oh, hot damn, hot damn. Oh, Jesus.
um,
Dang.
obviously that I can get back up after a really nasty lariat. Um,
Oh my God.
She like you said, she's a big goil.
oh, she hits like a Mack truck. Um,
Woo.
I don't know. I hope that they got the impression that like, I don't quit is such such a blatant patented answer, but more so that you find you find a new way every
Ooh.
single time to put your best foot forward to get back on top. And you know it's about not stopping, it's about not quitting, but it's about finding a new way to rev the engine, essentially move forward.
And earlier you talked a lot about like being under pressure, but what is it like when you understand that you create that pressure too?
um like, I think we need the pressure to push us forward. um I don't think that without the pressure, I don't think we grow. So it's
Absolutely.
like, how do you find that give and that take? I am someone that, once thrown into the deep end, um, I will swim. I won't let myself fail. But
Right.
not everybody's like that. So it's finding the balance that helps you succeed. So when, like, I welcome the pressure, and it's not always that case for everybody. So I guess maybe a word of caution for some people. find the right level of pressure that works for you. But for me, like, I'm doing 85 things every single day.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
sometimes I procrastinate until I hit that moment where I'm like, no, I got to get all this done or I'm going to fail.
That
And
sounds like
that's
hyper
because I
ADHD.
thrive.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
that's probably, we know I'm on the spectrum. I'm ADHD. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here.
But that's why we relate on such a fundamental level.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
What's
enjoying this
what's
match.
going
The
down
match is
and
great.
what's going on in your head at this moment, Ray? Like both of you are pushing each other to the limit, and you're both
Ray's
clamoring
selling her
to
ass off too. Like,
right.
damn.
Yeah. Um, Honestly, for me, it was always like be in the moment. So much of when I first started was get to
Ooh.
the next spot, get to the next spot. And
Oh,
this
Twin
was
Blade.
more like enjoy it,
Hmm.
be there. Um, be who you are and thoroughly be a part of this moment.
Hmm.
Like don't let it don't let all of this just go. Hold on to it and
Oh,
enjoy it.
Because this match is around 11 minutes, and
Sunset Flip.
11
Mhm.
minutes it goes by so fast.
It
Because
does. It
big
really
Samoan
does.
drop.
It's an
Wow.
easy watch for sure. Oh, Samoan drop.
What is that moment like for you, Ray? Because after like such a huge move, and like you're so close to three, and then like you hear that too, like how do you dig deep? How do you like how do you keep your foot on the gas pedal at that moment?
Yeah,
Knowing my hit training
because
is
you guys are
paying
in the 11th
off.
hour of this match.
For real. For real.
It's like, okay, I'm on burpee number 6 of 8. So what do we need to do? We only got 2 more burpees to go. So what do I need to pull out
Hmm.
of the bag? Um, so hey, let's
Oh,
pull that, let's pull that reverse DDT out. Let's pull, let's pull what we need to pull out to get the finish. Like,
that
let's
reverse
just,
DDT was nasty work.
yeah, let's just keep going and let's get a little more creative, you know, let's get a little bit smarter, but let's move with purpose. Like and Kevin said that to me a lot. Move with purpose. And it
Love
makes it
that.
more effective.
Whew.
Oh, hot damn. Oh,
And what do you think you proved to Danny in this moment?
banging.
Because like prior to this, like you've never worked together.
So Danny said something interesting.
Hmm.
Um, she asked me
This is
to
awesome
kind of
chance.
pull the curtain back just a little bit.
Hmm.
She asked me when she gave me the big lariat after the haluva kick. She covered and she goes, "Are you okay?" Immediately in the cover, which isn't uncommon when you're working together with
Hmm.
somebody. And I
Hmm.
said, "Yeah, immediately." And I think when, there's definitely a few things that can give away the type of worker that you are, like the strength of the lockup, like how well you move in the ring, how sure your footing is, whether you have happy feet. But I think being able, like, she hit me super hard, not unsafe, but like it was awesome.
Oh,
And
You're in physical combat with someone. Yeah.
yeah, like that's the
yeah.
expectation. Like we hit each other hard. And I think for me to pop up and be like, "Yeah, I'm good." She was like, "All right, now we can go to
There.
war.
That
Like
spear,
we got it."
man.
Oh, that's it. Hot damn. Hot damn.
So
That
I think when you understand, when you test people, when you're working with somebody, you can feel it out fairly quickly. I'm sure you can feel it in jujitsu, Annie, when you're working with somebody. like the type of it's always it's always a testing method. It's always a, how far can I push, how much more can I go, what's a comfort level, and you can figure it out pretty quick about how hard you'll be able to work, how comfortable you'll be able to be with a person. And sometimes you just click and sometimes you don't.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
that
No,
that
I
good.
enjoyed that. I'm sorry. I enjoyed that match. That was just great. And it really and sorry to interrupt you, Annie. I felt like I had to say this. Like it that was clean. Like that match was super
Thank you.
clean. Like I like enjoyed it. It like that, dare I say, for me, that felt like TV ready wrestling to me.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. I'm sorry, Annie. Go ahead.
No, you're
no,
good.
you're the perfectionist in me watches it back and, can pick some things apart and finds some things. And unfortunately, who I am, like, I watch it the first couple times, I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the more I watch it, I start to like.
I get it.
And maybe that's what it
Totally
is.
get it.
Like, maybe that's the drive of what it takes to get to that next level. I'm incredibly grateful to Danny for this match. And she provided feedback post match that I can, like, is real actionable feedback that I can immediately apply. And I loved it. And those are those are the opponents that I am even more grateful for, because they're they're wrestling you, they're understanding where you're coming from, and they're giving you growth. And not everybody is like that. It's hard for people at my development. Like, I can give you glaring feedback about whether or not something felt good or bad,
Hmm.
but to have the nuanced insight that people with a large amount of TV level experience have, that's that's invaluable at this point. So I am ever grateful to the TV talent that I've worked with, like I've said before, because they give me so much. Not just their time, not just their bodies for putting their bodies on the line for this work, not just, all of this that they're doing. Like, they're doing so much more than just agreeing to a match on a card and taking a payday. I mean, I'm sure there are probably opponents that just come in and, oh, here's my pay. Oh, hey, kid, we're just going to lock up, blah, 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 one, two, three.
Hmm.
But I have been fortunate to have had fantastic opponents that have guided, have taught, have helped.
That's great. That no, I love to hear that, and and honestly, it shows. Like I think that you're well on the road to where you want to go to, as far as like TNA by wrestling these standard bearers of women's independent wrestling. I think it's great. I think you're on the right path. I definitely say keep going,
Thank you.
keep grinding, keep pushing because you're on the right track. You definitely got something, and like proud to have you part of what we do here and in your house.
Thank
Like just to be
you.
able, just to be able to have you on every now and again. Anytime you guys get a chance to do Dear Pro Wrestling, when you guys get an opportunity, which listen, we're talking about three workers, so it's tough for them
When
to
the
get
stars align.
together and do that. Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I totally get it, but like just to be able to provide that insight when you get a chance to is always great. Being able to do this was great. So yeah, thanks for coming on and giving your time for sure. I just wanted to say that before anything else.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always, always a pleasure.
And there's one more thing I wanted to ask you. So here at Bouquet of Legacy, we're all about honoring those in the past, present, and future of women's wrestling. And you are the present of that right now. So who would you like to give a flower to?
Um, A worker, an individual, or
Anything.
meet
Anyone.
anything.
Anyone. Yep.
Um, I want to give a flower to the Michigan women that came before um, this current generation of Michigan women wrestlers. Um, Without them, there would not even be a thought process of women's wrestling in Michigan. Um, Without them dealing with the dog and pony of like special attractions matches and being more than a valet and you know um just the ick that they had to go through to obtain some clout. um that not all of them are still in wrestling. I mean, Brandy West is still kicking and she's amazing, but there aren't many left that really came out of Michigan strong. Randy and Sienna are the two off the top of my head
Hmm.
that really scream to the forefront. But I thank them because without them, w- you know, we wouldn't have really had the platform we had to even get looked at. They would have laughed us out of the building. And while we still had to deal with some level of it, we got a lot further than they did in a short period of time.
I love that answer. I really do. I love that answer because it's paying homage, and I feel like Marty kind of did the same thing. So it's kind
Hmm.
of almost like a trend, and I love it. Listen, Ray, once again, thank you for coming on. We appreciate your time. We had Annie do her thing, which she's amazing in what she does. That's why she's here, and that's why I'm so happy to have her. But I do want to give you your floor, your opportunity to plug anything that you want to plug, upcoming appearances, social media, anything. The floor is yours. Relentless Ray Larson.
You can catch me on Facebook at Ray Larson, Instagram at relentless underscore Jack, JAC. The next appearance I have is November 1st for Mr. Chainsaw Pro Wrestling. You can catch all of the previous Mr. Chainsaw performances on IWTV. It's a little lesser known, but it's an amazing platform to watch. Additionally, throughout the end of the year, I will be at AAW for both of their November and December events. So, year end closing quickly, but thank you. I appreciate both of you.
No problem. No problem. You're so appreciated having you on because I definitely see it's coming quicker than you think. I mean, you got to keep working and doing what you're doing, but I think it's coming. I think we're gonna see you on TV. Uh, Sooner rather than later. And when we do, I'll be able to sit back and be like, "Hi, I know her. That is awesome."
Hmm.
So yeah, but as far as awesome goes, I have an awesome co-host who does amazing things and really like took the load of this interview, which that's what I listen. That's what I told her to do. You get these two together, it's gonna be a movie, and we definitely love it. But
Shenanigans.
co-host
Shenanigans.
Annie, all kinds of shenanigans. Annie, where can they catch you and all the shenanigans that you're causing?
Next week, I will be returning to Frontline Pro, doing my thing on commentary with Steve, Aaron, and Chris Lockman. They're absolute legends, and they take me under their wing each time. So, and I can't wait to do that. It'll be a great time. I only have two shows for the remainder of the year. I love that. I love that.
I
It's
know it's
it's
I
getting
love that for
quiet,
crazy,
which
you.
is okay with
crazy.
all the holidays.
Like, and how about you, Con? What you got going on?
Listen, I'm like you. I got only a couple of bookings left. Holidays are coming up. I always shut December down because my shoot job, I got to shut it down. I got to shut everything down, and it gets busy at the
Mm-hmm.
holidays. But on November 22nd, I'll be back at Emerge Wrestling. It's Emerge 92 Steadfast. It's going to be a great event, and we got a lot of great matches that are slowly starting to trickle out, and I'll keep you guys up to date with that as it comes. And then November 29th is the last ride, the Sam Knight retirement show. That is going to be huge. I'll be there managing Sam for his final match. 20 years of Sam Knight, all culminating on November 29th. It'll be the return of the set. Myself and Sam Knight, and he goes up against Shiloh Greaves. 15 years of friendship ends on November 29th. It's going to be insane. And then, of course, I got to prep. I got to keep working. I'm putting things together to make sure that things go how they need to go when In Your House and Emerge Wrestling invades the Squared Circle Expo in Indianapolis, Indiana, March 27th and 28th. It's going to be a movie, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be great. Listen, I'm trying to hang out with Dennis Rodman. All right. I want to hang out with Dennis Rodman. I need you guys to hit him up. I don't care what you guys do. Bother him on his X's. Even use X, he's kind of old. But that's all right, though. Figure out a way to get a hold of Dennis Rodman because I want to hang out with Dennis Rodman because he is the definition of badassery. All right. So, guys, once again, one last thank you to our guest, Relentless Ray Larson. And nobody puts in more work than Relentless Ray Larson. And yeah, I said it. It's work. Hey, and that's HOWSE. Listen, house right here, all right? And the W stands for work. So for Relentless Ray Larson, for Divinely Designed Annie O'Neill, I'm Alakon the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day. Great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah, yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Rumpus in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Whoa.